What's going on, guys? It's Unfairly back here with some more Marathon PvP content. Today we're going to be getting into a highly requested video type of scenarios that didn't go according to plan or went completely wrong and we ended up paying with our lives. In these clips, mostly I'm going to be playing with two IRLs that are very new to Marathon, and so I'm kind of walking them through the game flow and what they should be looking out for. So I'm going to hopefully get you guys some combat insights that you can pull back and use in your runs, and then kind of pass this information along to your newer teammates as well. So let's get into it. So here we're on perimeter. We're going to station here right now. Again, we're showing them you don't run right into the POI and get yourself into the situation before you know about the situation. As you can see, in all the previous videos we've told you to circle around the POI, grab as much information as you can, and potentially get maybe damage or a kill, just so you have the utmost statistical chance of you winning that fight. And so here, we're observing the POI and checking out the fixed spawn points that I know about, and we end up finding the people who freshly spawned here. So we get a little bit of damage. We're going to evaluate the situation, look to kind of be aggressive, finish the fight here. We're going to take down one of his teammates. Rookie mistake. As we've always said, body bags are a source of high foot traffic. People are either going to be looking to loot them or revive them. Teammate, being in the new kind of part of his gameplay, he runs right over to the bag to either finish him or try to loot, and he gets instantly smothered from a position above, which I actually did not know that they were there. So we're going to play this appropriately.
On top, you got me.
I'm going to instantly kind of try for the snipe. I can hear that his teammate's self-reviving. That's always going to kind of throw a wrench into your game flow, just because it's something that you almost need to divert your attention to immediately to prevent you having the numbers disadvantage in terms of like a 2v1. We got a nice little quick scope there, but his teammate is hitting his shots really well. And kind of some context about this clip, again, we're in newer lobbies, lower leveled lobbies, and so my kind of ego or lack of trust in these people's ability is making me stay in a compromised situation way longer than I should have. I'm kind of overconfident in taking this guy down, and so you can see I'm really doing a bad thing and sticking around this area after I've been sighted for way too long. He knows that I'm here somewhere in this general area, and his crosshair, he has the height advantage. He's always going to be looking at kind of the exit points that I can move to. And so the big thing is that if I could have taken one thing back here, I would not have fought and stayed this long in this disadvantaged position. I'm on the low ground, he's on the high ground. He knows exactly where I am. He kind of has my escape routes covered. I should have 100% kind of like moved myself out of this situation to the back right, even towards the beginning when I was healing, and went maybe through the POI and back around to where we started the fight, so I can get a better unexpected angle on him and potentially get a snipe or some damage that would allow me to finish the fight. But again, here, I'm doing a little bit too much. I'm egoing it a little bit too much and staying thinking that I can finish everything. We move a little bit left just to try to get information. Again, we trade tags. I get good damage on him, but he gets better, if not just as well damage on me. And so again, if this wasn't a blaring warning sign to leave at this point, I should have been gone 30 seconds before this. And so the person I'm fighting is a triage. You're going to hear that audio cue that he goes ahead and reses his teammate. And so now, look where I'm at. I'm in a position where they know where I am. I have limited covered exits. It is now a 2v1. This is a terrible disadvantage, and I honestly dug my own grave by egoing and staying in this disadvantageous situation too long. And I end up paying with my life. So again, always, if you're in a lull of a fight, you need to make one of the big three decisions. I made the decision to heal there, soft reset, and get back into the fight. I should have made the decision to heal and then re-rotate around the enemy to get a better advantage point. I should not have immediately put myself back into that disadvantaged position. That was very bad. So here, again, another perimeter run. This is almost the same exact place as the last clip where, again, we just started off the game. You can see the timer. We're looking at the typical spawn points to see if we can catch people off guard, and there's one all the way back here, so we're going to be checking that.
Should write his name.
The fog is immense,
Write his name on the wall.
so we can see a little bit of movement in our peripheral. I kind of hesitate about shooting, and then end up missing. And so I understand how bad that was, how bad that miss was. Now they know where we are. They know that I have a sniper, and so they're going to play, you would think, more appropriately. So again, like we learned in the last clip, we're not going to go back and re-peek that exact same angle because they know that we're there. They're going to have their crosshairs trained on that, especially if they have snipers. So what do? We make the correct decision. We go back through the POI. We re-rotate around these people, and you can look, they're still looking at where we originally were. This is the power of repositioning. That's the human instinct. If there was a danger somewhere and then the danger goes missing, the first place you're looking and keeping track on is the last place you saw it. And so if you're the attacker, you need to get away from that. You need to restart the whole fight on a level playing field. And so we're going to push a little bit more aggressively, knowing that we have one down. And it looks like maybe they had fought before this. We're seeing a few more bodies than we had anticipated. We're going very slow, listening for any sort of audio cues. This little small POI, if you guys have played ranked, you know that for whatever reason, the most intense fights happen here for whatever reason. And so I kind of have PTSD, and I'm looking around really slow. We're getting a slight height just to get a situational awareness. And this is another important thing that we're going to kind of have it later in the video too. When you know you have an advantage, like a 2v1, or you need the fight to end quickly, and one of them is maybe kind of skittish, they're either going to, you expect them to kind of run away or not re-engage you in a main fight, we're going to split up. I'm going to tell him to push the original way where the enemy expects us to go, and I'm going to misdirection around the other side to completely cut off his exit point. All points are covered. You never want to be peeking the same angle from the same spot because you're just going to get absolutely demolished. So here, same teammate, we're going on perimeter, another match. We're at the south POI overflow, and so we figured out that there was no boss or no people there, so we're going to maneuver kind of on our route to check where other people are, and then we hear fighting, so we're going to move up here. I'm going to go invis as we get closer, just in case that they're running and they kind of see us faster than we anticipated. And also, I just want to point out context clues. What are they doing? They're obviously fighting something, but is it AI? No, AI doesn't spawn over in that corner. And so when you see both of these players kind of looking up, both of them are looking at the same place. That's where the enemy is. You see here, you can tell that, okay, they're not just a team of two, they're fighting a full another team. And so you need to play accordingly. And so we'll take our advantage because they're already damaged, but we're not going to rush in. We have no idea if there's one or two left. I'm invisible, so I get the advantage with the first peek. Important. I'm not going to continue that advantage even though my teammate is full health and he could push as well. I'm going to step off to the side. I'm going to heal up, make one of the big three decisions, and I'm going to let my teammate keep watch on the scenario, keep a few shots down to keep them pinned, and now what are we going to do? Now that we have two dead, and then we also killed one, I can tell that there's one left. I can tell he's looking to maybe revive, and so, just like we saw in the last clip, I'm going to rush the original place, but this time my teammate is going to take the misdirection and go around the left side to cut off his exit, and you're going to see, I mean, it's just decimation. Now, if we both rush the same angle, it's easier to get outplayed or to get bamboozled where the person pretty much just leaves or gets to sneak away. Hitting something from two angles is in two lines of sight is always going to be advantageous to you. So here, this is a different teammate, same kind of IRL situation, new to the game. We're extracting here midway. We have full inventories. I'm doing the right thing. I'm up in the place of height. I'm watching out. I have him call it so I can make sure that I'm hearing everything and seeing everything before it gets to us. Being in this situation, I hear the footsteps. We have instant tags and instant shots on target because of our position. However, like we've talked about in so many videos, we have two of the big three indicators that aggressive players will like to push immediately. We have not only the exfil giving its audio and its visual cues, but we also just had shooting back and forth between two full teams. And so that's two of the three big kind of checks on their list to say, hey, we need to get in there now and eliminate whoever's there because they have a ton of loot and they're trying to get out. And so you always, after these kills, you want to make sure that the situation is secure. I get a little bit distracted knowing that we're so close to extracting that I want to get whatever else I can fit into my inventory in terms of loot. But then you'll see why we have to pay attention to these things. Teammate gets sniped from an unknown location. I throw down smoke just to allow him to maneuver and heal. Instantly, I'm moving back up to my height. I'm going to look to see where did these shots come from. Try to get aware of the situation. And I get slammed from somewhere. I just show this person did everything such the correct way. Because even though that they're aggressors and they're looking to, again, push two of the three big markers, we're exfilling, we had fighting. They are not in this POI despite what we may have thought where they shot us. They're not in the situation, figuring the situation out while they're in it. They're outside here on the outskirts of the POI getting information and damage in terms of the tags on my teammate so they can say, okay, we have a statistical advantage to push in now and we should win. Being that they're out here in this advantageous position, this observant position, as opposed to being in this scenario with us where I'm expecting them and I'm prepared for them to be, it gives them this advantage where even after I die, I still didn't know that this person was over here because he had such a good kind of play or position on this particular situation. So we go into a little kind of nook and cranny. Still didn't really know where the shots were coming from, so I was still exposed. And I go down. Now it's only my rookie teammate left, and the extract is cooking. It's ready to go. So he's going to recognize that he has the healing champion. He's going to use his ult to revive me. And I just want to also point out that something that this other team did wrong, we talked about how their advantage was so great in how they had such a good statistical chance of pushing us and finishing us off. But even when they did damage to my teammate and then fully downed me, that's like a green light screaming indicator to push and finish the fight as fast as possible. They kind of lollygag and don't push their advantage. They don't take advantage of their advantage fast enough, and it allows me to get revived. I know that I might go down again. I'm kind of trying to get my teammate to get out. I tell him to start cooking it, and I'm going to make a last-minute run in, telling him to count down. Just so in case we both go down, they can't finish us off, and we wouldn't be able to extract. I thought that the kind of worst case scenario I was shooting for was that we're both down in the exfil and we both get out. And so again, a huge misplay on their part by not pushing the advantage or the upper hand that they had. But we tried to play it as well as we could, and we saw it work the first time in practice, and then the second time we saw ourselves, even when you make the correct plays, you can still be outplayed by better plays. This last clip is just kind of a funny thing, just showing the usefulness of the supply drops, not actually for loot, but just for kind of their engagement and their bait. We've called this in, didn't really have any takers, so I'm telling my teammate to go ahead and loot it up. I'm taking the initiative to stay up top and observe and watch everything. Even if this is a duo or a trio, if you notice your teammates are looting or doing something or distracted, you need to take it onto yourself to be this person. It takes 5 seconds to provide a whirlwind of information and avoid a threat. Just making sure whenever you know that your teammates aren't looking, you need to be that person that's looking. And so I do that here. I'm going to be the person that's looking. He's going to be looting. He kind of is memeing about how I'm baiting him. But you'll see it in practice. People are coming towards the huge audio and huge light. They know that you are vulnerable. They know that you're distracted by the loot. And so they're going to try to take that advantage if they're in the right mindset. And so again, you always, if you notice your teammates are distracted doing something or not paying attention, just take it upon yourself. You don't have to really calm or anything. Just take a quick look around, make sure everything is kosher. Just make sure that you guys aren't getting ran up on, and scenarios like that would have played out a lot worse if you didn't be that person. But again, that's going to be the clips for today. I have a ton more that I can't wait to get out for you guys, getting these kind of IRLs up to speed. If you ever want to connect with me, I'm Unfairly with 2Ys on Twitter, and I'm Unfairly in the Marathon Discord. You can also join in the Marathon Masterclass Discord. Link is in the bio and the description, where you can come along, chat, have some clips reviewed, ask questions, and share your progress. We're always in there chatting, having a great time. So I really appreciate you guys' support. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and take care.